We're live. Hey, this is the last coffee chat for
Mhm.
2023.
Mhm.
How about that? Good
It's
morning,
crazy.
everybody. I
It's
know, right?
crazy. Yeah.
Let everybody catch up with the fact that we are live and online. Karen is away for the new year, so she is not joining us this morning. So hi, Karen. Hopefully she'll be watching or she'll watch us later.
Yep.
We'll let you all catch up with the fact that we are in fact live. We suggest you grab a notebook or a piece of paper because I am going to give you a list of questions and things to consider to answer for yourself before Monday. So I suggest, I was actually thinking about starting it in a notebook, like a spiral bound for myself, so I could easily flip. I usually do it in a journal that's like bound, and then it's harder to. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like all these things we're gonna suggest that you list out to create this blueprint for yourself for 2024. We're gonna want to keep flipping back to these things and kind of digging in and
Mhm.
moving it around. And hey, Missy, good morning. I will get back to you about your message shortly. I just needed to be at my desk so I could look at my calendar.
I love this
Um,
book that you sent to me. I think
yeah,
it's The Stripes Go This Way.
yeah, that one's good. I
I
have
love
that
that.
one too.
I have more room. Yeah, I have more room to
Um,
write.
so for those of you that are love pads of paper, this is
Mhm.
I think this came from Ink and Volt is where I got these, I want to
Okay.
say.
Okay.
It
What's that?
is a Write Notepads and Company, but I'm pretty
Yep.
sure I got it at Ink and Volt has some great hey, Christy.
Yep.
Um
Yep.
Ink
But
and
but
Volt has
you
some.
said this makes it easy to go through.
Yeah, but whichever way, right? I just think
Yeah.
a spiral. I don't know. I feel like I've got like 4 pages of questions that I'm going to start firing off here for you guys.
Good.
So I suggest at least right now, grab a piece of paper and a pen, and of course you can replay this afterwards. So you can replay it as many times as you need to catch them because I'm not writing them anywhere else for you. So you might want to, if you are interested in creating a future unlike the past and having a 2024 that is significantly different and more magnificent, that's my word for the year, by the way, than 2023 was, which I'm interested in doing, um, then these are some great things to consider and to think about. So I'll start reading them off, and then Tracy and I will kind of answer the ones we're comfortable with for ourselves to answer publicly and things like that. So we'll kind of give you an idea of what it might look like for yourself to consider these things or answer these things.
Yeah.
Um, just following up on last week, for those of you that were praying for Merlin. Merlin went and
Mhm.
crossed the Rainbow Bridge
Mhm.
2 days ago. Um, I'm heartbroken. I'm also relieved and grateful. It was a very excuse me, it was a very beautiful thing. We were right there with him. I was
Mhm.
holding his paw. It was all good. He went
Mhm.
on his own time and went his own
Mhm.
little plan. And we've put him in, we have a garden out there with the statue of St. Francis. We've put him here
Mhm.
on the property in the garden, and
Okay.
we've ordered a memorial stone for him. And so thank you for your prayers. They helped him to get through Christmas and spend Christmas with us. And he was kind enough to wait until several days after Christmas. So he passed on the 28th. So we don't have to have that memory, on Christmas Eve and Christmas of
Yeah.
losing something that was quite dear to us and our family. So
Mhm.
thank you for your prayers on that note. Um, all right. So I'm feeling fairly energized. It was a really rough month, like I told you guys last week. It was rough. It was a rough Christmas. It was a rough thanks. It was just a rough month because of what was happening.
Mhm.
Um, and because I moved some things around with work, and I'm just kind of moving around responsibilities, not really leaving anything that I'm doing, just actually moving things around to better serve and suit clients that I have. So all of that is moving around, and I changed the rugs in my office, and I changed the rugs in my sitting room, and so we're going to take down the rest of the Christmas decorations today. So I don't know how everyone else has been, but it's felt very, I feel like that's breaking apart now. Mercury's been in retrograde for those of you that are energetic folks and follow those types of things, which actually do have a real impact on the way that the energy feels. And I believe Mercury goes direct on January 2nd. It's the 1st or the 2nd. So all that being said, we really want you to create a plan, a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. Wishing for a new year that's better is not a strategy. You actually have to put in the work to create some kind of strategy and accountability for yourself, something that you can keep going back to, looking at, changing around, reforming, considering what you might write now, and then in a month looking at it again, and another month, and then at this time next year, this will make it easier when we look back and say, okay, what did we plan? How did we do? Did we get it done? How did we feel? So I highly recommend picking some kind of book, notebook, journal, whatever is going to work for you, that is going to be your 2024, we'll call it your blueprint. And in there is going to be whatever notes you want to take on 2024. So whether you want to enter your gratitudes in that particular book daily, which might be cool because you could kind of follow along in time. And at the beginning, put in, answer all these questions for yourself so you can keep circling back. And then every month on one of the shows, probably towards the end of the month, we're going to take you through a series of questions so that you can, keep up with this. So this will be sort of like a living, breathing document that we're going to have you pouring into all year long, into your notebook or into your journal. So since we didn't give you any warning right now, just grab a piece of paper or something. And then, really think about getting a book that is going to be some kind of notebook or journal or whatever that's significant to you that you'll want to be working with all year. So this is like a course that you're going to take for your life. And we're going to give you things to consider and put in your notebook all year long and keep working with this strategy for personal development and your future. Because when you just have these goals and then it's nice and you look at it, and then at the end of the year, you don't even remember what they were. You don't know where you wrote them, or you don't even know if you did them. That's how things stay the same. And that's how people stay complacent. Right. So I can't imagine not making goals, but some people just, don't do that.
Right. And it's important, like you said, because then it keeps you on target with what you say you want.
Yeah. Janet, we are going to be working with books throughout the year. Yes. So we're mixing everything in. So since we're going to be live every Saturday morning, we have plenty of time to mix everything in. So we'll introduce the book that we're going to kind of work with, like say January, February next week. I think it's going to be something about, I can't even think of the name of it right now, and I don't know where I put it. So I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to wait till I grab it. All right. As a matter of fact, I can maybe even go look for it in a minute while Tracy's talking about something, because we're both here. So, okay. So ready? Just go grab paper, pen, something. Here's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. These are like 5 questions that you're going to ask yourself and answer before January 1st. So before Monday. And they all start with the prompt this year. So I'm not going to repeat that part. So this year, I want to feel whatever your answer is. This year, I want to let go of. This year, I want to give myself the gift of. This year, I promise myself that. And then this will be the year that, fill in the blank. So this year, I want to feel whatever. I want to let go of whatever. I want to give myself the gift of whatever. I promise myself that whatever. And this will be the year that whatever. So, for instance, some of my answers to those are I want to feel joyful and grateful every day. I want to let go of procrastination, negativity, and criticism. I want to give myself the gift of joy and financial abundance. I can't remember what I answered to I promise myself. I think it was like I promise myself that I'll make good decisions, and I promise myself that I'll be joyful, that I'll come from a place of joy and gratitude. Okay, so those are like questions to ask yourself. Now we're going to get into some goal prompts, which you definitely won't answer in this coffee chat.
Right.
So and I'm thinking that in order to make it, we really want you to create a strategy that's doable. So we want you to have, lots of times people get to the beginning of the year and they're like, oh, I want to, blah, 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 blah. And it's a lot. It's too much. It
Yep.
doesn't happen. Then
Yep.
you feel like shit about yourself,
Yep.
and then
And
nothing
stop.
changes.
Yep.
Right? So let's just talk about types of goals here for a second. So an easy goal is done in like 1 to 7 days. And again, I still do recommend that goals book by Jon Acuff, because he addresses kind of like how to break up goals in a different way so that it's far more workable for you. So an easy goal is something that's done in 1 to 7 days. So that could be like, find out about my finishing school, whatever. Find out about a sewing class. Find out about if I can learn to speak Italian in my town somewhere. Is there someone that gives less? Like, that's an easy goal. A middle goal is something that takes 30 to 90 days and allows for has a flexible nature and allows for patience. So that's stuff like, I want to work out 4 days a week instead of I'm going to work out every day, or I'm going to work out Monday through Friday. Because if you make a goal that's like, I'm going to work out 4 days a week, now you have flexibility. If you wake up on Monday and you're not feeling it, you still have 6 more days to get 4 workouts in.
Yep.
See how that gives you a little bit of room. So Tracy and I are suggesting that you have 4 creative goals and 4 educational goals. This could look like, I'm going to take this course, I'm going to listen to these podcast series, I'm going to do something on Udemy, I'm going to take a class, I'm going to make a quilt, I'm going to paint a picture, I'm going to write a poem, whatever the hell you want. I'm suggesting that you have 1 each a quarter. That gives you 3 months to be a win on those types of things. How many books will you read this year? And that's novels and, self-help, whatever you love. How many books? How many workouts per week will you do this year? What courses or conferences are you interested in attending or taking or going to? What networking do you need to do that you're not doing that you want to do? What skills do you want to develop that you haven't developed? I'll go back and read these again once I finish this page. What will you do differently in your career this year? All right, so just to go back through, what are 4 creative goals? What are 4 educational goals? How many books will you read this year? How many workouts will you do each week? What courses or conferences are you interested in that you want to do this year or attend? What skills do you want to develop or work on this year? What networking do you want to participate in? What will you do differently in your career this year? Okay, next. What areas of your house or office have to be decluttered? This includes closets, bathrooms, the junk drawer, your car, your garage, your basement, your attic. Anywhere where you are pack ratting, hoarding, keeping shit that doesn't serve you anymore, wherever it is, I want you to have a plan, tackle one space a month, whatever it is, start moving that shit out because it's
Mhm.
not serving you and it's keeping you stuck
Yep.
and you don't even know it.
Yep.
And I want you to go into your closet and go through every piece of clothing in there. And if it doesn't bring you joy or make you feel like the person that you want to be, throw it out, give it out, shred it up, whatever. Donate it, do something with it, move it out of your space. I don't care how much you paid for it or if it still has tags on it. I did this yesterday. I'm always making a pass at my closet. I made another pass yesterday. I got rid of a few things that still had tags on them. I
Mhm.
got rid of
It's
some
good.
sweaters that I paid a lot of money for,
Yep.
but I just thought, you know what? I don't love these. They don't make me feel like I want to feel this year.
Mhm.
So I put them in a bag.
Mhm.
Um, what areas need decorating attention of your house? Where are you just putting up with something in your house that you don't love, that's not making you happy? And what can you do about it? Can you paint? Can you get a piece of fabric and put it over? Can you do what I used to do and get a blanket from Walmart and tuck it in and make some
Mhm.
nice pillows with your sewing machine? There's plenty of ways for you to do different things with your house. Add something, subtract something. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Okay.
Also,
You
I
just
want to just say,
have to be creative.
you said sewing machine, so sometimes that stops people. And if anybody has questions, they can call me. But there are ways to do this without a sewing machine.
Yeah. And she's like the sewing queen. She is. She's really good at it. I can sew a straight line. That's about it. So I can make pillow covers.
Yeah.
Much more than that, and a quilt because it's
Mhm.
all straight lines. I can
Mhm.
sew in a straight line. What home projects do you want to see done this year? Do you want to make a garden? Do you want to take a garden away? Do you want to make a fire pit? Do you want to have new flowers? Do you want to take out flowers? Do you want to get rid of a tree? What are the things around your home or your apartment that you want to see done? Do you have your own space in your home, a space that is just for you to sit quiet in, to write your goals in, to pray in, to whatever? Do you have your own space that is just yours? If you do not, can you create one? Can you improve what you have? Can you take a closet and, if you have a walk-in closet, can you make a little space in there for yourself? Can you whatever, someplace there you can go in your home that is only for you,
A little haven. Hmm.
right? Okay, can you create that or improve it? What is your income goal for this year? How much money did you make last year? So for some of you, you might need to go figure that out. Go figure it out. And then what is your income goal for this year? And then what is your monthly wealth plan, which we are subbing wealth plan for the word budget, which I despise. Budget makes you sound poor. Wealth plan makes you sound like you know about your finances and you know where you want your money to go. I suggest opening some kind of a savings account if you don't have one. And if you tell me you don't have any money to save, I promise you, you can eke out $10 here, $5 there, $20 there, $2 here, $3 there. Get a coffee can, start putting extra
Hmm.
whenever you can save money. Miss a Starbucks visit, put it in the can. Take that money every month, whatever's in the can, put it in the savings account. Make it like a passbook savings or a statement savings that you can't see when you log into the bank. So either put it in a different bank or, so when you go into your normal thing, like make it so you can't see it. Because if you don't realize it's there, then you won't consider it a possibility to spend it or circulate it,
Yeah.
right?
And it
So
keeps growing, and then you're like, what? Yeah.
and I would suggest opening an E-Trade account. It is very easy to do. It is inexpensive, and you can buy stocks for $2 or $3 a share. It is fun to do that. I've started doing that again. Just a fun little thing. And then you can, allot money every month to go that I'm gonna put $50 a month in there. And when I have enough, I'm gonna buy a couple shares and like that. And make sure you, when you sign up for E-Trade, and Janet Burton is on here. She is a great person to ask about these types of things. She is a financial whiz, and I'm sure she'd be happy to answer any questions. So if you are in our group, which is the coffee chat group that goes, it's the private group that goes along with the show, I suggest you get in there, because that's a place where you can ask Janet questions about investing and simple ways to do that and all that. Because everybody goes, Noelle, I don't have time to invest. I don't have, they just are like, I don't have money. I don't have time.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not going to create a savings and an investment account. You're not going to create these things if you don't start somewhere. You have to create the vehicle. You have to create the account. So even if you have $25 to put in there, so what? $25 is $25.
Yeah.
Compound interest is a beautiful thing. Okay. So let's start, give yourself a wealth plan. What the hell is your wealth plan? Never mind your little budget where you're freaking out about how you're going to pay your bills. What is the wealth plan that you have for your life? My husband's reminding you, set it and forget it. That's like an automatic savings or an automatic investment. You don't take $25 from your account. You don't really think about it. So Janet's recommending a Roth. You can put as little as $10 a month. So there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of ways for you to get conscious about directing your money in the places that you want it to go, so that it can grow and go to work for you. Money is energy. If you don't have any energy on this, if the only energy you have on your money is freaking out every time you look at your checkbook, it's a wonder why you're not making the income level that you want to make. It takes effort. All this shit takes effort. Planning your life takes effort. Having a strategy takes effort. Okay? Lazy people don't have goals, they don't have a strategy, and they don't get the life that they want. They get a lot of complaints about the life that they have versus the life that they want. So, what is your monthly wealth plans? Do you have a savings, invest, create the receptacles? Okay, $10 a month. I know you can all find $10 a month. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty certain that you can. What's going to be your side hustle? How can you increase your income this year? That there's a million things that you could do to make a little extra. Maybe you make a plan to make a little extra, and that's the extra you use to save and invest, right? Pay yourself first. That's your investments and your emergency account, your little savings. You will feel so much better once you start to accumulate some capital that is just not being exhausted by the daily grind. I promise you. And this is a big one for me this year. I'm really working on this one. So I'm going to be hitting this year and supporting you guys to do it with me, because I'm 55 and this will be the first year where this is really my focus. You can create extra income. There's a million things that you can do. You can talk to Tracy and I off off book about that stuff. You can talk to us about that in the group. We can give you some ideas. Any expenses that you want to reduce or get rid of? Is there anything that you have, that's automatically charging you that you're not even using anymore, or you're not going to use? So just like clean up stuff, get conscious about stuff. What do you want to donate this year? What do you want to give back? Those are things to think about. And don't tell me you have nothing to give, and don't tell me you have no extra to donate, because even if you don't have cash, you probably have something, and I know you have time and you can make time. So make a plan. You want to donate next holiday season, you have a plan for that. You're going to find the right place to donate your time. You're going to wrap Christmas gifts. You're going to help people with Mother's Day. You're going to serve a food kitchen. Start thinking outside yourself. Stop worrying about your own small clod of grievances. Think about other people. Think outside yourself. This is how you expand your life and your reality. Think out here. What trips do you want to take? Don't I can't afford a trip. I don't know. If you don't even have an idea of where you want to go, how the hell are you going to create the means to get there? Start thinking bigger. What boundaries need to be put in place this year? That's a big one, I think, for all of us. Where do you need to create boundaries that there haven't been any? What will you start? What will you stop? Habits, activities, thoughts. What will you start? What will you stop? What boundaries need to be put in place? What retreat days do you want to schedule? These we're going to call Magic Me days. And I want you to schedule at least 4 in the course of the year. This is a day where you do something that's totally for you. I recommend once a month, but some people might not be able to do that because of schedule or whatever. This is a day where you either are doing art all day or something creative, or you're reading, or you're going to a spa, or you're having an adventure, or you're taking yourself to lunch in the movies. This is a Magic Me day. This is something new we're introducing this year and really encouraging you guys to do. So really think about that. And think about trying to schedule 1 a month, even if it's a half a day. This is time for you to be you, to reflect, to think about your life, to enjoy, to create joy, to create laughter, to create magic for yourself. Without feeding your soul, you're going to become all dried up and crusty. This year, I will allow myself to what? What is going to be your word for the year? Mine's going to be magnificent. I've used that one before and it served me well. And I really just want to bring that back because I feel like this has just been a rough year. And I am determined that 2024 is going to be much better. And what is going to be your affirmation for the year, your tagline? Mine is, my life is filled with joy and abundance daily. Or my life is filled with daily joy and abundance. I need to probably reword that, make it more concise. All right, so I'll reread all of this, but let's just talk about some hacks, and then I'll let Tracy highlight some of the things while I go look for the book. So break these goals for yourself into tasks, actions, and schedule the actions. All right, so let's give them an example, Trace. You want to give them an example, and I'll go look for this book really quick. What's an example of taking a goal and breaking it into tasks and actions and then like putting it on your schedule?
Okay.
You're in my ear still.
I'm in the process of, first of all, it was a conversation in my mind that I wanted to write a book, and not write a book like a novel, but a coffee table book from all the hearts that I find out in nature. I post, if you follow me on my personal page, I post anything that has to do with love. And I put in a picture of a heart that was found, you know, either in a rock or a leaf, or sometimes I'll spill my coffee and it'll form a heart. And so this coffee table book, it requires certain things that have to be done in a certain time if I want to have it completed and on the shelf by a certain day. So that's where you schedule. So then you have to work backwards. I work backwards. So if I want it to be on the shelves by July, that means I have to do this and this and this and this. And I'm in the process of talking to a publisher. You need an ISBN number. You need to find out how many pages the book has to be. You know, do I want it to be hardcover or soft cover? Do I want it to be color? What kind of paper? How thick do I want the paper? Who can I get to create the cover for me? What do I want to call it? Like, all these things have to be lined up. And so right now, my daily tasks, my weekly task is that I get into Facebook and I transfer the information from the Facebook page over to a document, and then line up the words, make sure the words are spelled right, make sure that there's a font that flows throughout all of the pages, make sure that the picture is centered on the page. I mean, so I'm working at that. I forget what she called that. anyway, so I'm
Tasks,
lining everything up,
actions.
and then when I line it up, and then I work through. I think I have 120 something pages right now, and then I need to ask, is that too many? Because let's just say a book costs this much money at 120 pages, and then once you go over 120, it changes. Well, then maybe what I do is I either get rid of a few pages or I merge them together. So these are all the things that I'm going to do, and the tasks and the actions, and so that the date that I set forth will be complete. That's the most important thing, is that you know what it is that you're working on and what you want and what it's going to take to get there. And you write it all down and you line it all up and you stay accountable, so that it's no longer just a conversation, but it's an actual thing that's going to happen because I, set it in that direction. So that's probably one that's really good. Thank you, Christy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had to go through the whole house. I couldn't find it.
Okay.
This is really good. So this is How Women Rise. It's called How Women Rise. And it's Break the 12 Habits Holding You Back from Your Next Raise, Promotion, or Job. It is actually has some great, it highlights some habits in here that I think we all, have, I think we all have, as women, I think we all have encountered some of these things. And I read it and I really liked it. And I thought, this would be a great book to go through with you guys. So that's what it's called, How Women Rise. Sally Helgesen and Marshall Goldsmith wrote it. And we will publish a link for it. I think you can probably buy it on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a few years old. It's not brand new. When is it published? It was published in 2018. It talks about the habits that keep women from reaching their goals, the 12 habits. Reluctance to claim your achievements, expecting others to spontaneously notice and reward your contributions, overvaluing expertise, building rather than leveraging relationships, failing to enlist allies, putting your job before your career, the perfection trap, the disease to please, minimizing, doing too much, ruminating, and letting your radar distract you. It was really good. And I picked some things up out of it. And so I think that you guys will enjoy it. And I think everybody, I think all of you probably want to make more money, elevate your position, elevate your careers, whatever. So the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll go over, I know we're a little over, but I feel like all this stuff is important for you to start the year in a good way. Remember, an easy goal is 1 to 7 days. A middle goal is 30 to 90 days. You've got to keep a scorecard on yourself. And this is where your notebook that you're going to work with for a whole year is going to come in handy. Also, you can use as a scorecard the effectiveness game, obviously, because you can take the actions that you need for the goals and make them into daily activities. So we'll keep talking about like all the different ways to hold yourself accountable to what your vision for the future is.
Mm-hmm.
Your future has to be intentional or it's not going to happen. Yeah. So it's not enough to just make a list of goals before the new year and then leave it. You've got to have a plan. How am I going to be different every day? How am I going to be different every week? How am I going to be different every month?
Yep.
How am I going to be different? What is going to be different? If you don't change anything, nothing will change. Yep. If you're in a shitty relationship and you don't get the hell out, nothing's going to change. You're in a shitty job and you don't do anything different, nothing's going to change. Yep. If you are overweight and you're pissed off about it and you do nothing and you have no plan and no strategy, nothing's going to change.
Yep.
If your house is a shithole and you can't move around because you got so much junk and you don't get a garbage bag and start putting shit in it, ain't nothing going to change.
Yeah.
So this is the
eating
year.
habits, your exercise habits. Yeah. Everything.
Nothing's going to change. This is the year we're going to start talking straight. We're going to start straight talking on here and just telling you straight up. And if you don't like it, get off the show, get off the page. Don't listen. I don't care. I want your life to change. I want you to do what you have to do. I do the work. Tracy does the work. Karen does the work.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Yeah.
You want something to be different. You have the opportunity to make this the best year you've had so far, and all the ones after it, by starting something new, by making a new strategy, by being a new version of yourself. You have that opportunity right now, today.
Yeah.
You can clean a room, clean a drawer, clean your desk, throw out the clothes that don't work.
Yeah.
Stop complaining.
Yep. Yep.
You don't have to wait until Monday. You can start right now, today. You can just start by getting a notebook and answering these questions for yourself and starting to think about it.
Yeah. And I also want to say, like, for the people that are listening, don't think that, especially for me, don't think that I don't grumble and groan sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. But I stay the course because of what the goal I have in my life, to stay healthy and strong and flexible and balanced on my feet. Like, that is more important than being pissy in the moment. Like, nope, go do it. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't about that it isn't hard.
Right.
It was really hard to let Merlin go on his own time. It was really hard to nurse a cat for a month and have to check on him every hour. And like, that was really hard. It would have been easier to just call a vet and have them come and but I decided that wasn't my decision to make. That wasn't my choice. That's not my soul. And I'm a firm believer in that every soul has its own strategy. That's just my personal beliefs. So,
and then to not listen to the naysayers, because everybody will have something to say about what we want to do in our lives to set it forth, right? So to be able to go, no, I'm not listening to you. This is what I need to do.
You have to make boundaries, and this is why that boundary question is really important, because where are you not setting boundaries that really you ought to set them?
Yeah.
Your future has to be intentional. Okay. And you've got to have some kind of a scorecard on yourself. And if you tell us that you don't have time to do these things, you can steal back time. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Steal back your own time. How much time are you spending on Facebook, Instagram, social media, YouTube? I don't even have the TikTok shit on my phone. I am floored by how many adult friends of mine spend time watching TikTok. And I'm sure there are some motivational, inspirational things on TikTok. So maybe, but you still have to limit, like, you say, well, 5 minutes doesn't matter. But honestly, 5 minutes matters when you take every single day for 30 days and 5 minutes a day. That's time you could have accomplished something that's important to you. Because I guarantee you, I'm feeling pretty certain that any of these questions that you answer for yourself, watching TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram is probably not a goal on here.
Yep.
So this is about, and it's not about never going on there. It's about setting it, setting a strategy. Strategy is big for me. I am really a strategist at heart. Strategy matters. Strategy is how you get from here to here. Strategy is all the things that you have to do to make that happen. You got to wake up in the middle of your own life, man. You got to. You got to wake up in the middle of your own life, okay? Because nothing's going to change unless you change. Nothing. Not one single thing is going to change for 2024 unless you create a strategy for change. That's what we're here to help you to do. We'll continue to talk about this next week. We'll also start digging into this book, How Women Rise. I think you guys are really going to like that. Again, if you're rewatching the show, those are the authors. And this is the name of the book, How Women Rise. And I think Tracy above posted a link to purchase it on Amazon. You probably might be able to purchase it as an Audible book too, because it's not brand new. It's like 2018 it was published. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right. So it's not just going to be Coffee Chat 2024. We're going to be talking about this blueprint all year, your working plan, your working strategy for your life, your notebook. We're going to want you to have your notebook every time you listen to the show or watch the show. We're going to be going through some books that we think you're going to enjoy and whatever the hell else we want to talk about.
Yep.
All right. So we wish you the most magnificent New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And we will see you next Saturday. And we just really, my wish for you is that you decide that it's going to be different.
Yeah.
That you just decide that you're going to do it different and that it's going to be different.
Yep. 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 Good, good.
All right.
Okay.
We love you, and we'll
Love
see
you,
you
girls.
next Saturday.
Bye.